It's going to take a couple seconds for everyone to get in here per usual, but everyone say hi in the chat.
Oh, yeah, I forgot there's a lag on that.
Yep. What you're doing? Yeah.
We got Facebook up here.
You got to wait for it to notify everyone, them to open it, and there's a 30-second delay, too.
Wow, he didn't waste no time.
Yeah, Luke's in
what's
here.
Up?
Jeff McGovern's on Facebook. So
welcome to another podcast. I don't even know if we need to call it a podcast because it's a live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about the heater. We just turned that off, so...
should be able to hear it a little better.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're episode 497.
497.
I mean, Joe Rogan's our podcasts, and they're live.
Yeah.
Yeah, live stream podcast. That's what we call it.
Oh, we owe Jeff a gift card.
Okay.
He won the
transmission.
He was the closest one. No one was going to guess the specific thing.
All right, Jeff, I'll get you your gift card after this.
Yeah, we got to pick another one. Maybe some suggestions on what our next technical question for a gift card should be to the audience.
Yeah, LTG and Gamma people. We want to give more gift cards away, so let us know some competitions you want to hold.
It would be fun. What, you've got Facebook up on
Yep,
yours?
I got Facebook up is here.
We can see YouTube up there.
Yep. Facebook says no sound.
They should hear you.
Paul Weber and Jeff say no sound. Max Lemmer says I can hear so well.
Oh, good job, Max.
Max is a troll, so I don't know. But he's a troll on our side.
He's a useful troll, but you don't know what the heck he's saying half the time.
Well, we've got closed captioning, so sound's got to be working for somebody.
Oh, somebody's translating. Facebook here. I can hear.
All right. Cool.
We'll take it. All right. So most of our usual cast here. We got Eric behind the camera. Thumbs up.
Yeah. Tyler V.
Tyler.
ZZP.
Everyone knows me. I'm Trevor.
Yeah, I'm Al.
I'm Zoom.
And we got Zoom.
Zoom CEO.
Zoom doesn't have a catchphrase
company.
either. That's just Ryan.
Just Ryan.
Yeah.
And this is the second one I think you've been on.
Okay.
First live stream. So.
Okay, this is good. Jeff said, throw a blower on and spray it. Hi, I'm Al McClure, and you're watching ZZP Presents Just Blow It.
Just blow it.
I mean, blowers and spray is a lot of fun.
Your sound is on now.
Oh. My bad.
We're so bad at this. I should say you were bad at this. I'm just doing my thing.
Yeah.
It's like your 18th podcast.
Yeah, I know.
Get your shit together, man.
Well, with the LTZ on the dyno right now, it's the fourth turbo in a row that I put the whole kit together and forgot to put the back pressure port in it.
Yep.
So
And
we end up having to go over the dyno and drill a hole and tap it.
We're both looking at it on the car with the front bumper off, and I said, where are you going to put the back pressure port?
Yeah.
Should you put it right here? And he's like, oh, no, I put it over here, and then...
I had it all figured out, but once again, we get to the dyno, and I'm like, shit. Oh, well. Figure it out.
So drove it on the street over to the dyno, which is an important thing, because people don't think it does that.
I don't understand that.
For whatever reason.
Yeah, but I know we've got some Sonic people watching, and if you didn't see, I posted last night in Gamma, but Zone is on, started to pick up some power, and then we ran out of fuel.
Yeah.
So, but, I mean, we made 320 at 22 pounds.
Yeah, something like that.
And we're out of fuel pump, so...
What is the fuel system in there?
It's stock with the AEM 320 E85 pump.
Stock what?
Like stock
Stock
system.
computer, stock tank, stock lines.
Okay, what injectors are running?
We have Injector Dynamics 1300s in it.
Yeah, so they're like
120 something pound.
Yeah.
Will it idle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They actually...
Surprisingly well.
I got those so that we could have something with a lot more capability than the 80s, but still have a hope of idling worth of crap.
Okay.
And so these do cost quite a bit more than 80s, but they're custom built from the ground up by Injector Dynamics, and they actually idle better than the 80s did.
And what ran out of fuel then? Was it the injectors, the pump?
The fuel pump, yeah.
But we were at 85% ethanol.
Yeah, I was a little confused at first. It seemed a little low, and I was telling him earlier. But then I went back and I looked at the uncorrected number, which is, I mean, the fuel pump doesn't know what a correction factor is or care. And so we actually made 350, like the actual power we made yesterday. So that made more sense.
Corrected, it was 320.
Yeah.
The actual was 350.
Yeah, and
so
when we made...
fuel system will make 350.
Yeah.
Okay.
When we made 408, that was in summertime, and we were only running like 40-50% ethanol.
Okay.
So once I looked at the uncorrected number, okay, that makes
sense.
That's why we're out now.
Yeah. But that,
So yeah, it'll come back over here, and we'll start working on the fuel system.
And we'll get even more out.
That's like stock feed to the AEM pump.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna change the pump or boost the voltage? What are we gonna do?
I'll look more into it when we get it in here. I don't know how much we can really get away with cheating around that fuel pump computer.
Okay.
But I suspect that
You can't interrupt it. Take the output and put a.
I think
voltage.
if I was talking to Walker and some other people about the modules last night, and we should be able to loop the CAN lines so that the rest of the car stays happy, and it just let it think that everything's working the way it's supposed to.
Yep.
But then we can actually just run more voltage to the pump. But I don't know if it's worth wasting time doing that, because I don't think that that'll be enough to get us to our end goal.
Yeah.
So if we're going to have to make a bigger change.
Does the pump use a common ground, or is it a discrete ground for its?
The power and ground come in, both go into the fuel pump computer, and then both come out the other side and go to the fuel pump.
But is the ground coming out a discrete ground?
I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't probed them.
Sometimes you can't mess with the power out because it'll screw the computer, but you can go to a negative voltage on the ground if it's not a discrete ground, you know, and I don't know. It's just a workaround to raise voltage.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, I mean, you're going to get 10-20% and then be done.
Yeah,
probably.
we need another couple hundred horse capability out of it. So
Yeah,
the
you
little
start setting
tweaks.
stuff on fire if you go to
Yeah,
30 volts on the fuel pump.
Yeah.
Sounds like you need twice as many pumps.
yeah. We're going. We have plenty of big inline pumps laying around here.
Yep.
I mean, we probably could have something rigged up overnight if we wanted to, but I want to, do it right because we're gonna race the car this way.
Yep.
Cool. So LTZ's on the dyno, starting to crank up the power. Any other
Yeah,
news
it's going
this week?
well so far.
Just pressurize the fuel tank with nitrous. Boost that pressure right up there.
Maybe we'll start with CO2 and work our way.
Where's your sense of adventure?
Well, I mean, Tyler's the one that drives it, so I'm good
So
with
it
whatever.
doesn't matter to him.
No, it's the when we first had it on, strapped it down, things weren't working well.
Yep.
I had some things set up wrong that were just overlooked. Got that fixed pretty easily once I just calmed down and used my brain. But the car runs well. It spools almost as fast as the last turbo did, but has way more overhead.
Yep.
The power holds out way farther.
Yeah, we're actually able to spin a little over 7 now.
Yeah, last night we made peak power at 7,300.
Yeah.
And it probably could have held out even farther. That just
Valvetrain's good up there.
Yeah, seems
So
to be
far,
doing great so far.
About what RPM did that boost come in?
About mid fours.
Yeah.
Mid low fours
So for a turbo that's capable of 600,
on that engine.
pretty
It's
good.
not bad.
not bad.
Especially to have a power band that's
Usable. I mean,
5
Yeah,
grand.
even though it spools
Yeah.
slightly slower than the EFR did, the power band is actually a little wider because it holds out. It holds power out more than the spool that we lost at the beginning.
What is the engine or PCM rev to? What's the limiting factor on RPM?
We don't
know.
It's just always made peak power at like high sixes, right around
so
7.
there's no point.
Yeah, and granted, the EFR that we had on it was doing everything it had.
yeah.
I mean, once I hooked the shaft speed sensor up, I realized we were actually over the maximum recommended shaft speed. So like, there was nothing left.
It wasn't going to last too much longer.
Yeah. Yeah, I sent one of the logs to Mike where it had hit 172,000 RPM. And he said, don't do that again.
No more.
Your turbine might come out the
We've been doing
downpipe.
that all season. What are you talking about?
Yeah, what do you
Well,
mean?
We do like to break stuff.
Yep. So that kind of takes us to one of the topics we were going to talk about,
Yeah.
which is kind of how we choose products to make. And one
Yeah,
of
we
the,
got everyone in here. Obviously, Zoom leads a lot of projects here and isn't directly choosing projects at this point. But we got 2 people that are in weekly R&D meetings.
Yep.
And I guess Zoom, you can go over how you started out planning how we choose what projects are important, what aren't?
Well, we usually go in a few different directions. The easiest of which is if you've developed parts for the previous platform, and you've got your partners in place and your processes in place, it's pretty easy to just do it for the next car. So every car gets an airbox, every car gets a catback, every car gets, these
Basics.
sway bars and the basic things. So that's one way that has actually gotten easier over the years. And so if you see something on a different platform, it's probably going to eventually come to the new platforms that we're doing.
Yeah.
The other thing is that, this is something I've been touting a long time. Like, what separates ZZP from a lot of companies is we drive the cars. We live these cars. We have fun in these cars. We break these cars, and we own them. So what we do is employees will pass around a car, whether it's a Cadillac or a Sonic or a Cobalt, and some employees own multiple of that particular vehicle. And everybody drives them and breaks them and races them. And they come in with ideas and they say, hey, I don't like the way this car shifts. We're like, okay, let's engineer a solution. I don't like the way that it breaks up at this RPM. I don't like the way that it sounds. All right, let's change our catback. I mean, everything that you see on our platforms, in our vehicles, they have been made by people who drive the car and wanted the car that particular way.
Right.
We'll have votes on it and take opinions and see who likes what. Sometimes we'll even come out with two versions of something, like a catback, and just see what people like and what they want to do. If the car's too loud, we change it because we're driving that thing to work every day and the drone sucks maybe, That's really what's going on. If we're taking the car to Gingerman or something like that, and it doesn't do what we want it to do, we're going to engineer a solution, and you're going to see that on our website. And sometimes the products don't even sell well, but we don't care because we want them. Yeah, we wanted that thing for ourselves. Yeah. So
the first thing that comes to mind there, because you may have an idea that sounds amazing, and sometimes it just goes over like a lead balloon. And the one that comes to mind is the slingshot rear radiator.
Yep.
Yeah, that was my deal.
And I didn't realize how amazing that thing was till we had to take it off. And I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
That made a huge difference in the vehicle.
I was driving around in that vehicle in the summertime. Fantastic. A lot of fun driving a slingshot in the summertime. Everybody's looking at you. You got the open air. It's fast. It's fun. But unless the temperature is exactly right, you cook in that car.
Yep.
Like, you got sun coming down on you, and some guys get little overhead things. But the heat from the engine, like the radiator heat, is coming at you, and the exhaust heat is coming at you, and it's just an unpleasant experience. You're just literally just pouring sweat and cooking in that thing.
Yeah.
If it's 80-some degrees out, which is kind of the weather you want to be driving it in. And so
it's 95 in an open cockpit just because you have all that heat coming back.
Absolutely. So I bought the thing back, and I was like, guys, I want to move the radiator from here to there. Huh? Yep. So we engineered it. Custom hoses, custom radiator, fan solution, this whole thing. Now, out in the wild, nobody buys it. Nope. But for us, we know the difference. You get in that thing, it's night and day. I mean, it makes the slingshot an enjoyable vehicle at that point to drive.
That and like the rear catback on that car, totally different.
Yeah.
Because you don't even think about the exhaust too is dumping there, so that radiator fan, you're sitting at a stoplight and you're just
everything is hot. The floors get hot. Your shoes get hot.
But yeah, then nobody buys it.
Yeah, and then no one buys it.
Yeah, I'm really big on weight. Customers don't really care about weight. I do. And so like on my Grand Prix, every part we have has been re-engineered several times to reduce weight, whether it's grams, ounces, pounds. And, that's the journey is, that thing is kind of a sled in stock form, and you add all our parts together and it's just hundreds and hundreds of pounds. I mean, if we have a kit and we can reduce the bolt by 5 millimeter, we will include a 5 millimeter shorter bolt. Yep. We made our rocker arms. We didn't just change the ratio. We wanted to make them lighter. Every part on that car is like that. And that's the Grand Prix is where I started. And so that's my, my personal thing.
Yep.
There's weird things that maybe you'll see on my car you won't see on other cars. I realize that thin wall aluminum tubing is lighter than typical radiator hose or silicone hose. So I replaced sections of my coolant system with aluminum tubing instead of the hose.
I just ordered 24 feet of it so that I could do that with my car.
Oh,
Because the ounces make pounds.
Yep, ounces make pounds.
Yep.
I like that saying.
And the cars don't break when they're light. That's
Yeah,
a lot of people
Yeah,
don't
it's
realize
easier on
that.
everything.
Like, people think they're gonna put all this big power together, but those parts get strained on a heavy vehicle, and God knows we break our cars every day, every time we drive. It's one of the nice things about working here, right?
Yeah.
Break it again. Can you come get me?
That was
Yeah.
one of the craziest things when I started here that I never imagined how fast stuff gets swapped in and out of
Oh,
like
yeah.
a race car here.
Especially when you get used to it. Like at Lapeer. The track workers at Lapeer could not believe how fast we could swap axles in the Sonic. Like, well, we've had a little bit of practice. This is kind of a normal thing.
I think between the, what did we go, 2 weekends there or 3?
2 or 3 in a
We
row.
broke almost a dozen axles.
Yeah.
It was like 11,
And we
right?
could get it done in 5 minutes.
Or less, yeah.
That's crazy.
Jack it up, wheel off, one bolt.
And that wasn't like pit crew doing it either. That was just like, here's the tools, zip, zip, get it done.
Hand tools and a jack. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because there was times where they'd use the 4-wheeler to tow it back for us. And then they go up and take off. And then 5 minutes later, I pull back up in line. The guy's like, how are you up here already? Like, shut up. We got to go. Burning daylight.
I loved it because the one run I broke after the 60-foot. And I coasted almost all the way to the end of the track. And they roll up on the ATV, and they're just giving me the, like, you fucker, you oiled down the track or something, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, it's just an axle. Just
Yeah, trust me.
Let's get over real quick, and we'll be good. But yeah, so we break stuff, and we find out a solution, which is what we're doing with the Sonic now. We're going to figure out what's going to break next and go from there.
Yep.
Yeah, we did that with. I think that strategy happened on the Cobalt when the guys asked me like, "Hey, what do you want done with the Cobalt? What do you want to do? What can we do?" And I was like, "I want you to break it. I just want you to keep turning it up until you break it."
Yep.
And we got up to 898 wheel horsepower on the Cobalt, and
Couldn't keep the head down.
and not in one shot. You know, I mean, we were.
It was a couple weeks.
It was a journey, and we had to. Every time you'd run into a wall, you say, "Okay, why won't the car make any more horsepower?" And I remember one time it was the downpipe. We had a 3-inch downpipe, which is huge for a 2-liter car,
yeah.
but it was very restrictive once you got to 600 horsepower. So we did a custom 3.5-inch downpipe, and boom, 40 horsepower right there, right? And then you're back into it, and then maybe another time it's the turbo, and then it's the fuel system.
Yeah.
Every car, it's the fuel system.
Yeah.
Every car, it's the fuel system.
Yeah.
And not just one component, you know, it's the injectors, it's the lines, it's the fuel pressure regulator, it's the voltage, it's
Yeah,
the
something.
inline pump, it's the high pressure pump. I mean, yeah, it goes
Yeah.
on and on.
I still love going back and reading that thread on Cobalt SS. From
Oh, yeah, I
way back
repost
to-
it like once a year or so.
it's cool.
Yeah, it's fun to read.
And it's really cool that we're doing that now.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
really
we
excited.
do that with every platform. We take it to a point where to go any further is nearly impossible or beyond the scope of what any realistic customer could ever do, right?
Right.
If you have to design a billet block or something like that,
Nobody's
right?
gonna buy it.
Yeah, it's not a viable product. Like everything we do has to be somewhat viable because we do get customers that'll come in and say, "Hey, I've got
I want
20
everything.
grand. I want you to make this car do this," and we've got to deliver. I mean, especially if they're buying a result and not buying a product.
Yeah.
Some customers come in and they don't give us a parts list. They give us a results
goal.
list.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what they
and they're
want.
like, "My car needs to run this," and sometimes we will actually take their car to the track for them and produce that result because that's what they paid for. Or maybe it's a dyno result, and
Yeah.
we've just got to go until we hit it, you know?
Yep. Not everybody loves to drag race, so if they want that 500 number or whatever.
It's definitely going out of style, but
Yeah, drag racing is. I don't know. It's weird because some days you'll go to the track and there's a lot of younger people like us, and then other
Yeah, I guess
times you
you're
go.
It is surprisingly hit or miss.
Other times you go and it's all 60 somethings in there.
Hopefully we
Well,
get to have some fun with new guy in his car this year.
Yeah, Ross.
That'd be
New
cool.
welder.
That should be a fast car.
He likes to race too, so we'll have a big crew out this year. But
Something to put up against the Sonic.
You know,
We'll
we
see.
had one customer, and I can't remember his name, but I can give it if I remember it. He used to he claimed he was involved in some kind of drug business, right? Pills, I think, and he needed the vehicle to outrun cops, and so he brings us his vehicle, and we're like, okay, well, what do you want to do? He's like, I don't know, but I got to outrun the cops. We're like, well,
Wait, what?
you know, that
remember
means
that.
something different to a lot of people. We're gonna need some specifics, you know. And so we had it. He's like, I need it to go 150 miles an hour for this period of time, and we're like, all right, we can do that. You know, we can do that. And so
This is all theoretical, right?
he was a Mexican customer.
Yeah.
They don't
Go
we
to
don't drive like
Mexico.
that around here.
that was our Mexico division. That's what it was.
Like the Fast and Furious movie where they have to run across the desert at night.
Oh my god.
That's what he was building it for.
Yeah.
But it is a different build. Like, you know, to do a quarter mile, that motor's only got to put out for 10 seconds or something.
Yep.
And anyone
Right.
that's doing
That's why we put that half rad in the Sonic. Ounces make pounds, and it'll be enough for a quarter mile.
But that's where that honest conversation with the customer is so important. Customers, do not lie about what you're going to do with the car. A top speed run is completely different than a dyno run or a drag race run. In fact, a top speed run arguably is the hardest thing you can do on the car.
Yeah.
And we will get customers and we will do a build, and the build will be reasonable and actually somewhat conservative, and sometimes customers will blow it up and you're like, well, what are you doing? And they're like, well, I wanted to see how fast it would go, and it didn't get there, so I slammed on the brakes, and then I did it again, and then I slammed on the brakes and I did it again. Well, how many times did you do that, you know?
Till it broke.
Yeah, you know, I kept doing it because I was seeing what would happen. You found out, I guess.
Yeah, we
right?
get that in the tuning logs all the time. Like, I don't know where these people find these magical roads that they can do 3 dozen back to
I'm
back.
envious of some of these.
It's like,
some of
what
these
the
things.
heck?
Like, you never stopped. You went from 60 to 140 over and over and over again.
I don't get
It
it.
must be like middle of North Dakota or something.
Oh, yeah,
Just
maybe.
Stretch of highway.
I mean, I had a friend on the Red Line forums way back in the day who lived in an Indian reservation. And he said he knew what roads in there that the reservation police never went on, so he would just go top speed run
Over and
just
over
for fun,
again. Yeah.
just because he could.
Someone said, knowing the new ATS-V exhaust is coming out. I actually saw Alex today doing the final tax on the production unit.
Very, very close.
So that's
Yeah, we're finished, right? It's just
Yeah,
production now is
Yep.
what we're doing.
Apparently,
put it on
my
your
mic
jig
is
and get it all.
blasting.
I just turned it down.
Oh, okay, cool.
3 steps out of you.
Sorry you don't like my voice.
But yeah,
You got your mouth on it like a popsicle.
I like feeling the foam.
feel it with your beard hair.
Yeah, my freshly trimmed beard.
VCAT without valves will be first. That production unit is basically ready, and I'm sure we'll have it up here.
Yeah, Alex
shortly.
is working on the jigs, I think.
Yep. So that's
getting
super
jiggy with
exciting. And then we got the Grand Prix catback is getting closer. Well, not even catback, because
No,
Yeah.
the 2JZ,
Oh, yeah.
unless we come up with another name for it, right?
Yeah,
I
2J
don't know
mod.
if we figured out how we're going to do that in production yet. But we will have
At least not the purple car version.
Yeah.
Well, high volume production. We'll
Right.
have custom production.
Yeah.
Real quick, and we'll pick a few Grand Prix guys, set something special up for them.
Yeah, we've got a
so we
couple
can get some
customers
feedback.
I know
we-
Terrell wants one.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet he does.
We've got a few guys that work real close with us, and that I love that. I love the support. It makes me feel like I have reason for doing what I'm doing.
Yeah,
You know,
I love those customers.
feeling
that
appreciated.
Yeah,
no
that's
matter
a
what we come out with, they need it, and it's
well. It's a good time to remind customers though that like all you have to do is just not be a dick.
yeah.
Like I was a customer for a long time, and I wasn't a big spender with ZZP, but I made sure I was always friends with everyone here.
Yeah.
Because you never know what might happen. And look, we're here now.
Yeah.
There we
Customer
are.
too.
Yeah, some customers make our jobs easier.
Yep.
Right.
Then
they
some
give,
don't.
and they give great feedback. And
Yeah.
you know, our motto is that we always want to do right. So if we give you something and it fails, that is the sport. but we are also a company that stands behind it.
Yeah.
So let us know. Our 3,800 customers are the best at that. They give us so much feedback that it helps us redesign the parts, design them better, and we literally design parts based on feedback from that community. Whereas you get in other communities, they're not there yet, but we'll get them there.
Not yet.
I hope so.
I think that's part of the kind of generational car guy shift too, because especially now a lot of our 3,800 customers are a little bit older, whereas Ecotec owners and LTG owners are younger, and this may be their first mod car or it's their only car and they're modding it. So, you know, that being able to have constructive feedback and not just like, oh, this shit's junk.
Yeah.
How are we supposed to fix that?
Yeah.
That's not a quantifiable.
What is it
They're not
doing
helping.
that we need to change, you know? But
Or what are they doing that they need to
Yeah,
change?
yeah.
I saw a comment just disappear. Chris
Yeah.
asked when we're going to see 1,000 horse Cobalt, and I don't think you will, but you might see 1,000 horse Ion if I ever find time to finish the car.
So we ran into the head lifting, right? And that put an end to that because we didn't have the means at that time, or really the motivation, to go with a 1/2-inch stud or a custom block or anything like that. But since that time, and now that ZZP has its own head studs, we have an alloy where we can use the same head stud. It's very expensive, but we can make it in a different alloy that will give us enough strength to take it a little further. I don't know if we can go from 900 to 1,000. Probably.
I think I can.
Probably.
Because I think the reason the head lifted on that car was because it was finally past the limit of that Saab intake manifold.
Okay.
Because I had talked to Matt about it before, and once they got to like 7-ish, the more they turned it up, the earlier the peak power happened.
Oh, okay.
So I think it was the enormous torque spike of the manual boost controller that actually lifted the head. So I think if I can just hold
out. Yep.
650 foot-pounds and just hold that out to like 8,500, $9,000.
We were at the limits of our drivetrain too. I mean, that was a.
Well, yeah,
dyno
that
queen.
trans was junk when it came off the dyno.
that was
Like, the dyno killed an F-35.
That was still on a 35.
Yeah.
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 So we will need to do the 40 conversion in that.
Yeah, I got a 40
Okay.
Yep.
in my car.
F40 and then
I don't remember what turbo we did. Has technology gotten any better?
it was
got
a
Yeah.
360.
It was a 366.
Oh, 366.
Is that still state of the art or?
It's pretty old.
That one wasn't. There's a newer version of that now.
Okay. So.
But yeah, I mean that was what 10 years ago.
Yeah, and it was a
while ago.
10-year-old turbo at that time.
Yeah. So
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, the BorgWarner S series has been around a long time, but it lasted so long because when they were released, they were way ahead of everyone else.
Oh, and they just kind of kept doing what they
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, so what's our ATS-V horsepower?
Low sixes.
low mid sixes.
There's some hybrid turbos. Open that can of worms that I think have just cracked 7,
All right.
which seems reasonable. Because with a hybrid here, you can gain 40 or a little more per
10%-ish.
turbo. So you gain
Yeah.
80-ish out of a pair, crack 7. That seems reasonable.
Yeah, but we were limited last time we had Tim's car on the dyno by fuel,
Yeah.
and so now we've got a larger fuel pump lobe and the
Big bore.
Yeah, the big bore on the high pressure fuel pump. So that alone should get us a little further, but we're also working on something else.
All
I think
right.
you're doing a totally different turbo setup on your car, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
But yeah,
Probably don't want to share
Al's
yet,
Ion
but-
is not.
Oh, but we've already mentioned it a few times.
That's way out.
Well, I just
Yeah.
thought it was weird that we did the 3,800 and I think Matt made was it 865
Yeah,
somewhere in
almost
there.
9, pretty close.
So he's in the 8s, and then we
Yep.
did a Cobalt,
And we made
and we made about the same horsepower,
Yep.
right? And now we're doing the Sonic.
yep.
We'll have to see.
I don't.
We'll have to see. I don't know.
I am hopeful.
You know the rule. We go till we blow. So
Yeah.
we're gonna see where that goes.
The
And
craziest-
ATS-V, we haven't even got there yet, and that's
we're
the
not even
biggest,
close.
most capable one
Well,
that
yeah,
we're doing.
Oh, I have no doubt we'll break 4 digits on the stock engine.
100%.
I mean,
Yeah,
we
that
started at 600. Like that's totally different animal.
stock turbos, stock stock everything. Other than
But it's
bolt-ons.
really kind of embarrassing that a twin turbo 3.6
Yeah.
is has not met the horsepower that the other platforms have met yet.
Well, yeah.
Right?
Too.
Like, and we're at fault just as much as everybody else, but to be fair, we haven't really put our efforts in that platform yet.
Right,
If,
and
if we were putting the efforts in, yeah, that car makes embarrassing horsepower right now for a market with several people in it.
I mean, it's even our LTG. Like we haven't tried to do this process with it. So,
yeah, rewind 18 months and look at the Sonic.
like we had the record, but that wasn't like max effort.
But
Yeah. It's a
is the rumor out about what ATS is going to end up being the fastest, or is that still under wraps?
I think we've mentioned it.
We've mentioned we're working on something.
Working
But-
on something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be a little.
I-
It's not intuitive as to what car is going to be the fastest.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
We've mentioned that this season
That's
is going
true.
to be a thing, though.
Yeah. We're.
I don't know which ATS is going to be the fastest.
Well, I think I do because one has our efforts and one.
That's
Kind of,
true.
kind of our side project efforts, right?
And the driver of the one car is scared of weight reduction. So,
Yeah. Calling out.
yeah, he's going to lose.
He knows who he is.
He knows who he is. He's going to lose.
Yeah.
Do you think you watch?
So we've got our internal rivalry, and we have what's going to go on out in the wild. But it's going to be so good.
It's gonna be.
It's
so
going to be
good
so
this
good.
year.
I'm
Yeah.
going to talk so much shit that
Yeah.
I think I'm going to get deplatformed
Probably.
from every automotive forum for talking shit
Yep.
about what we're going to do.
We're gonna
But,
start making trophies for every forum we get banned off of.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much to get deplatformed anymore, man. These snowflakes they should
Oh my
should
God,
go
if you
back
went
and
back
read
to
some of the old stuff.
old
My
Oh,
God.
man.
days,
Yeah.
And that shit never got deleted either.
No.
It would go on, and mods would be like, well. let 'em do
Yeah,
what
it
they're
was
doing.
almost impossible.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you live streamed a murder, it was not going to get taken down. Even then, it probably, we'll leave it up for a week and see how it goes.
It'll get us a lot of traffic.
We want the views, but
Yeah.
you know.
But yeah, I mean, LTG 2018, we raced a customer car, and the customer raced with us. I mean, that was Mayo's car, and people were like, "Oh, it's a shop car.
I don't understand that still.
That's all you guys can do, but only for him. Nothing else in this year."
I forget who it was, but there's still someone that runs around saying that they have a credible source saying that his car had nitrous on it.
What?
Then why did Matt sit on the line for 15 seconds building
Build
boost
boost.
if there was a damn bottle in it somewhere?
Why did we break drive shafts and axles on and off?
What if you did build a nitrous car? Does it not count?
No, not by their
Whoever's talking shit, you build it. Go ahead, bring the nitrous.
If it's
Line
that
it up
easy,
with
do
us,
it.
You know, yeah.
Yeah.
Show us
Did
what
that
you
with the
got.
Sonic.
Because we will not discredit your accomplishment if you run nitrous, even if we're not.
Because it makes it that much better when we beat you.
Yes, yeah. Which, to be fair, we got a lot of talent here. So, yeah. I mean, I get the shop car thing from a standpoint of if it truly is a shop car, and we do have some shop cars.
yeah.
You know, that is a bit of an
The
unfair
two-tone
advantage.
Cobalt is
Is a shop car.
Yeah, Matt's Grand Prix is
Is
a shop car. Yeah.
Yeah.
When it's caged out and you're spending that kind of money on it, that's a shop car. But what Alan Mayo's car did, if anyone out there wants it, come get it. I mean, we'll
We've
take your
said
money,
that
we'll
over
do
and
it.
over.
Yeah, email Tim. Say you want to go 10s.
The parts are on the shelf. We'll just grab them and put them in your car.
Yeah. But I do love talking shit, and I love that part of the sport, and I love people calling other people out.
Yep.
Because that makes it fun.
It does.
It does.
That's the reason we all got into racing.
Well, yeah. And as fun as driving the Sonic and breaking our own records was this year, it would have been 10 times more fun
Yeah.
if every week we
If there was
knew
someone else on our heels.
XYZ is going to the track too, so we better beat their time.
Yeah.
But we didn't.
Yeah, I'm envious of the stories you guys tell about the intense days.
Because this last summer it was like, all right, last week we went 12s. Let's go 11s this week.
Yeah.
And so it was.
We literally went to the track every single weekend,
Yeah.
and it was like this leapfrogging event, and that created the market. I mean,
Yeah,
you had
it drives
it's,
competition.
We're in some of these new markets, and it's like there's no Super Bowl because you don't have two good teams
Yeah.
competing, right? You just got a bunch of scrimmages all over the place, which is cool, but we want more. I'm calling out the customers.
Customers,
Do better.
Give us more.
competitors,
Give us
anybody.
rivalry. Yeah. Give it to us. We like it.
Even if it's
we
our
wanna-
own customers.
Yeah.
Pay us to build a car faster than ours
Yeah.
so that we can go beat you again. Like, that's still fun to do it that way.
We do give special treatment to people who are going to push the limits.
Yeah.
And
people that
and
earn
let me
it.
clarify. Yeah, you got to earn it. You can't, because trust me, every day we get, hey, I'm going to do this, so please give me a pile of free parts or half off. I'm like, well, your order history shows that you've ordered a sticker, and you ordered a K&N filter, but you returned it. So,
And then you complained about not getting a free hoodie.
Yeah. But yeah, don't show up and think that your $1,000 order history means that we're going to build you a 10-second car.
it is a lot of work, and we
is.
do lose a lot of money on a lot of the big builds we do.
Yeah.
And we lose a lot of money on a lot of prototype parts. We love doing it. We love it, but it's a two-way street, right? We need support from the customers. They need support from us. When all that works, it's great. And Alan Mayo is a great customer like that. You know,
and he has other cars.
yeah,
that
he
we
gave us a
tune
lot of
and-
allowances to do stuff, and you know the ideas flew around, and he almost never put the brakes on anything that we recommended or wanted to do. He was kind of more.
And that's why his car went so fast. People just throw shop car at it because it's faster than they can comprehend.
Yeah.
But really, all it was a customer that trusted us. And when we made a suggestion, he's like, okay, let's do that. Mm-hmm. That's all it was.
Yeah.
Any customer can do that.
Yeah. But
Yeah, you work close with us. We'll make sure you get taken care of.
we can't.
Oh, there's Terrell.
We can't have a bunch of I'm gonna,s because we get I'm gonna,s hundreds of times per day.
Two men. We love I'm gonna,s if you're gonna.
Yeah,
you're
right.
gonna.
You're
And
actually gonna.
unfortunately, we don't know who's the real I'm gonna and who's the fake I'm gonna. So there is a qualification process. We get a lot of people like, oh, do this, sponsor that. But a lot of times we can tell.
Yeah.
We can see who's active out there. We can see who's putting in the effort. We can see who wants to get it done.
Prime example is Ryan.
Yeah.
He was a customer for years and bought every single thing that we had for the Cobalt.
But he wasn't an I'm gonna.
No, he
just did it.
He emailed Steve and was like, "Hey, I have a Cobalt. I want to make 400 horsepower. You guys just." He had the 252 kit, which was like the first one. He drove up here. He got it. We released the next turbo kit. He came up. He got it, and he paid for all of that, all on his own. And then he became an employee, and then you get the ZZP perks. But
So let's talk about the employees a little bit.
Unexpected perks.
We have a lot of people who either were customers and became employees, or were close to us in some kind of way, or industry close to us. Al was a competitor-ish of sorts. He was in the industry, right?
Yeah.
And if you're in the same platform, you're, I guess by definition, a competitor, right? I'm not sure we saw him as that, but that means the person has expertise and passion, and we need passion. We can't go on Monster.com, or wherever it is, and just say, hey, come work for this amazing company because we treat everybody great and we serve great coffee. Like, this isn't the place for that, you know?
We usually have good coffee. Sometimes
We do have good coffee.
yeah, it's usually
No, we had a rough year, but
we've got it figured out
It was
now.
like 19 was pretty rough, but
There's a little crisis in there.
We always have good creamer, though.
that's true.
Yeah,
I
hats
don't
off to
believe
Zoom.
in creamer, so
Yeah.
Anyway,
Right.
Back
So that is one of the big differences between ZZP and other companies, is that other companies, they want a degree and they want this checklist, clicked off, and then they want everybody to be all PC and did you say this and wear that and all this kind of stuff. And I'm a little more raw, I don't even have a high school diploma. So I certainly don't require anyone else to have
well, no,
some
I've
fancy
heard
degree.
you mention seeking out people that don't have degrees because they're not.
Yeah,
They don't have their brain twisted
it's
into
not
some
traditional learner.
predefined
Yeah.
path.
We look for diamonds in the rough, and we look for people that have a natural passion to do what they want to do. Yeah. I remember we had a particular guy, and he said, "Oh, I want to do marketing for you guys." And I said, "Okay, what do you got?" And he's like, "Well, what do you mean?" And I said, well, show me your stuff. And he's like, well, I just graduated and I got this degree and I'm really passionate. I said, well, no, show me the marketing you've been doing. And he said, well, I haven't got the job yet. I said, sorry.
Yeah.
That's not how we hire.
Yeah.
You know, but with Trevor, you know, that's not the way it went. Like, I mean, he had 10 times what he needed already.
Yeah.
Oh, here's my sketches. Here's a web page I did. Here's this and that. And he's just doing it on his own because he loved to do it, right?
Yep.
That's who we hire.
Yep.
And you love the cars and you love the passion and you have a little bit of technical knowledge there too. I mean, you got to be able to produce. Almost, God, probably half our company is in engineering in some way.
In a way, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right?
I'd say so.
Yeah.
More than half, I would say, probably.
Probably. Yeah. I mean, it's unreal how many people have input into the things that we make.
Which is great because we get it from so many angles. It's not one guy. It's not you sitting down saying, "Hey, we need X, Y, Z. Do it this way." We have R&D meetings every week with 9, 10 people in them now.
Yeah.
That
Varies a little bit, but yeah, it's a full table.
It's, hey, this sounds like a good idea. No, that's shit. Okay, well,
I mean, even to what you said, we have shipping guys that drive like a Cobalt or whatever, and they show up to work and they're like, "Hey, my car was doing a weird thing. Is there anything we can do about this?"
What's up, Flit?
They're
I see you there.
engineering too, just by seeing problems and solving them. And
yeah.
As well as this, you guys made this part and it won't fit in the box. Go re-engineer it so that we can ship it in a box that's $10 cheaper a part to ship.
Things like that have happened.
Benefits us and the customer. So,
Yep.
but
definitely.
yeah, I think that's why I like our core group of people so much is that we all we like bleed all of this every day.
Yeah.
You know, I was
Yeah.
a customer, as a couple of us were, and like you said, I didn't buy a bunch of stuff. I had a little base model Cobalt, but I saw the posting for customer service. I had sold cell phones for 10 years, and I knew that I didn't want to do customer service, but I liked this company, and I really wanted to be here. So I applied. I got the job. And then within 2 weeks, it was when Alex and Michelle were here. And Michelle was doing our social media. And I was like, hey, I'm a little more of a car guy. Like, do you mind if I do some of the Facebook? And so I started taking, photos, which I've always had a passion for. And then, within 2 weeks, Kyla was like, hey, you're in marketing now. Cool.
Surprise.
And then ever since then, it's, I had a bit of a lull. And then maybe one meeting, Zoom might have kicked my ass a little bit. And then I was like, oh, shit.
Dude, you're not the only one.
Yeah.
That's another part of ZZP. So what I want to
You remember how many times he's maxed out my blood pressure?
I don't run ZZP just because I want to be in cars or just because I want to make some money. I run.
You don't
ZZP,
really even like cars that much.
No, I'm not really a car guy. No. But I run a business for myself and for the employees because I want a place that I love to be. I want a place where I feel safe, and that doesn't mean that everyone else is going to feel safe around me, and that's okay. So that's part of the curation of finding the employees is like we have to have similar-ish personalities, and being that I lead the ship, you've got to be able to handle it. And I have a lot of meetings. I ask people to quit. I say, if this isn't what you love, please, please, please quit. Yeah. Because I'm doing what I love, and I will feel terribly guilty if in 10 years you wake up and say, I just wasted 10 years of my life working for ZZP. Yeah. And for some people, this place would be 10 years of a waste because they would be around people they didn't like, around products they didn't like, and doing things they didn't like, and nobody should have to have a job like that.
Right.
We don't want clock punchers.
No. We want to be around people that are having fun and that love it. And when we say family, this is what I like to tell people. What do families do all the time?
Fight.
They fight. They fight.
We fight every day.
Oh, we fight every day, and it's passionate because we care about each other and we're passionate about our ideas, but that fighting also needs to come with a certain respect. And it comes with the fact that that people get angry, and that's okay. And that sometimes someone's going to lose their temper, and maybe they're even going to say something they don't mean or they don't want to. And we have the ability to come back and be like, that's my bad.
Yeah.
That's my bad. I've had a lot of people storm out of this building, vice president, fuck you, Zoom, walk out, get in her car and take off. Like,
Okay.
she'll be back. But you know, some people haven't, and some people didn't like that. Some people can't take that type of environment because they want more of that corporate PC, you know,
Climb the
roses and
ladder,
flowers,
yeah.
all this kind of stuff. And
I
you
sure
know,
don't.
when I don't like something, I'm gonna let you know I don't like it, you know. And my office door is always open because when you don't like something, I want you coming in my office. I don't care what it is. If you are mad about your pay or the hours or the building or the coffee, come in my office so
Yeah,
we
come
can
bitch
fix
about
it.
it.
Like, this is our business.
Yeah.
We got to spend a lot of hours here. Let's get it right, you know. But you know, there may or may not have been a time I told marketing that they needed to grow a dick and some balls and set it on the table and show everybody what they got, and they might have walked out and not come back because I can't believe people would talk like that in a business. It's so unprofessional. It's like, oh my God.
Dude, we get that on
Get
Facebook
outta
every
here,
day.
you damn snowflake. I can't stand it. I can't work with you. It's like, it's ridiculous. And now it's like 10 times worse than ever. Cancel culture. I got a moat around ZZP and these big walls. Like,
Yeah.
this is our safe space, you know, where we get to say shit we
And
want to say.
fight with
and-
each other.
Yeah. And that's how we are because we're family, and it's okay for a family to fight.
Yeah.
You
But,
know?
but that's what's great is that no matter how we're fighting or when or it's all because you and all of us want to see you do your best. And like in that meeting, you told me, I know you can do more. You're just not. And so from there, I was like, oh, well, shit. All right.
Maybe
So-
I can do more.
Yeah, I think I was mad at slow progress, and was it the Sonic market? Or was it
and-
just social in general?
Yeah,
What
it was just kind of LTG and social and
So I push my employees hard. Some people can't take it, but I want to bring you right on the edge. I've made a lot of people cry. Kind of proud of that. But, you know, I'm going to push you to that point. And some people will get in my face about it. Some people shut down about it. I try to gauge and maybe pull you back or apologize if I went too far. But I'm always trying to thicken your skin because I want soldiers in this environment.
Yeah.
You know,
You're definitely good at that.
we've had a lot of things happen, and you know, I've had lawyers come in, and you know, people from GM come in and telling us they didn't want us doing stuff. Cops come in, the attorney general of the state of Michigan, you know, trying to come at us because we were selling face masks. Like,
Yeah.
I can't have employees that are going to wilt under that kind of pressure because I don't know what's coming tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I won't have any kind of security if all my employees are pussies and they can't handle the first person
They're
that's
gone.
going to raise their voice.
Yeah.
So, customers, we won't deplatform you if you get mad, and we won't deplatform you if you swear. We don't like it. We want you to treat us with respect, but we are not deplatformers. You always have the ability to come back and be like, yeah, I lost my temper. I'm sorry. And we have a lot of customers like that. We're like, okay, let's get back on the right track and get at it, right?
just talk about what actually matters.
Yeah,
You know,
that's and I love that. I love that relationship. But some people,
they can't take it.
no.
We had a
There's so
customer
many customers
yesterday.
don't understand that though.
He called Ashley back and was like, "I'm sorry, I got super mad. We're still good, right?" And
Yeah.
awesome customer again.
Yeah,
Like,
it's life. You're gonna
Yep.
get mad, and especially, you know, in situations where parts break, like Zoom said, it's part of modding your car. A lot of people don't understand that things break, and that's why we always say, hey, if you're not prepared for that, have a non-mod car, have
Yeah.
your daily driver, and then mod it on the side. But we get it. We've all been there. You're mad. Something broke. You can't get to work the next day. Whatever. But you know, call and be mad, or email and be mad. But then don't
But be reasonable.
Yeah. Reel it in. We all can get heated, but
oh yeah.
it's
And
great when you
yeah,
hear those
we
customers.
give it to you straight. I mean, we'll tell you.
Yeah,
straight that
I was
it
just
is.
gonna say, don't be surprised when we don't kiss your butt.
Yeah, like
'Cause that happens on
and we don't
Facebook.
change policy, whether you're nice or whether you're mean. Like, our policies are policy, and it's that way because we believe it's fair. It doesn't mean that it can never change, but we believe in fairness and fair policy. So,
Yep.
you know, if you buy, you know, an airbox and it makes your car not run the next day, we're not going to pay for your day's lost work.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's just not
it's not
the
feasible.
type of liability that we take on. And,
Right.
and you know, most of the audience is like, what the hell is he talking about? Lost day of work. Oh yeah.
We hear it all the
yeah.
time.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you know, all kinds of stuff like that. I got this tune, and my car gets half the gas mileage. You guys going to give me reimbursement for that? No, we're not. We'll work with you, but no, we don't pay liability because you decided to mod your car.
What we're selling is mod parts, so you don't. I mean, we do sell some maintenance things, but most of what you get is mod parts, so you don't need it. If you can't take that risk, have another car.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, stock cars break. It's like a machine. It's like what they're designed to do almost is break.
Yeah.
So
Well, they're going to eventually.
you change them, and that it just happens,
Yeah.
So
But yeah, it's
yeah.
But I started to mention this earlier, but we're already going on a good tangent. But you can kind of tie these two things together with the environment here and the family, and we fight with each other, and we don't really fall under a PC label. And then you have people on Facebook that try to be badasses and try to yell at us, and they come up and be rude, and they, or figuratively slap you through Facebook, and then you slap back and like,
why'd you do that?
unprofessional. It's like, you started this.
You poked the bear.
You don't get mad at me because I'm not Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
We run a business to make your car fast. That's what we do. When all those protests were going on and all the political stuff and all the companies were issuing statements and taking sides, and I was asked, like, Zoom, do you want to issue a statement? I was like, well, not really, but if I did, I would say, we make car parts.
Yeah.
That's what we do. That's the role we fulfill in your life.
Yeah.
Is we make car parts. So
make
that's
the things.
that's my political stance.
We make the things so you can ignore those other things.
Yeah, exactly.
So so that you've got something to get your head out of that shithole when you go in the garage and just
you're by yourself. And
oh
you're
yeah, I mean like I'm one of those guys that talks to my car, so I used to run my hand over my car and I talk to it. This is my therapy time. That's what I like to do and think about what I'm gonna do. And every turn of the wrench and change in the car, it was therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
The opposite of the shit that's going on, right? Like I don't want to think about Corona and protesting and politics and these kinds of things. I want my car to go fast.
Yeah.
I want my car to be my car.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing,
That's
right?
what we sell.
We're personalizing the experience.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you touched on it a little bit, but I wanted to take all you specifically on here because both these guys are leading R&D projects now and started polar opposite positions.
Well,
And I know you were part of each one of their career path.
I'm not really. In some ways, I'm a good example, but in other ways, I'm like the way I ended up here and where I'm at isn't quite standard. But because it was rough for the first 6 months. Like there was a lot of
More
days.
from Kylo than me.
Yeah, that's fair.
What'd you start here as? For the people that
Mechanic.
don't know?
So basically, Zoom and a few other people knew they wanted me here, but they didn't really know exactly why. They just knew I had to be here. And like, where can we put him to at least get him in the door? And that's where I landed.
And for anyone listening that doesn't know Al's backstory, he had his own company, ARM Performance.
In full disclosure, it was like what people call pretend business. Like it was just me with an LLC.
Yeah, it was a
But
side,
it was a
side thing.
It was a side hustle that funded my car and paid some extra bills.
Yep. So that was what you were enjoying doing, being passionate about. It wasn't your day job. And we, as ZZP, this was before me, but recognized it enough where we're like, hey, we need this guy. And
Yeah.
then
And Hickman was the one that kind of started the whole ball rolling. And like, I remember exactly where I was standing in the shop at my old job when I opened my phone and read his text. And it just said, what would it take to get you up here? And I was like, I didn't even reply back for a day because I had to process it. And
so what do you say?
I was like, I don't know.
You're just like, I just want to be there.
That's basically what it was. But I have to be realistic about this.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad that things worked out the way they did. But, man, that first 6 months, even the first year, and then, about a year ago, we had another weird phase where it took a while for me to really find my spot here. Like, I've been here 3 years, and I wouldn't say I've fully settled in until, like, the past 6-8 months or so. Yeah. Like, I feel really comfortable with where I'm at now.
Well, when we interviewed you, there's a lot of people that interviewed you because you had come from out of state.
Yeah, there was like 8 people just circling me.
And I remember after you left, I said, I have never been more sure about a hire than Al. And it wasn't that he was going to be the best employee ever. It's just he hit all the checks for me. I mean, I was certain. And for me, I really start out on 2 principles. Number 1, can I hang out with this guy or girl? Like, can I be friends with this person? And if the answer is no, then I don't want you here, because why do you want to be around someone you don't like or you can't hang out with, right? Who cares about the work and all the rest of that stuff? Yeah. I'm here because I want to be here, and I want to continue to be here. So if I have to be around a bunch of people I don't like, that's not going to work. And then secondly is, does this person have talent? And obviously they don't know ZZP yet, but I want to see that they have talent. With Al, it was really easy to know because he was already doing this kind of stuff. And, sometimes we take some chances on it. Like with Ryan Derrick, as example, I was like, okay, we like him, so we want to hang out with the guy. And I don't really know what his talents are, but he had a great personality, and we want that personality here, that infectious personality, So once we do that, we bring someone in, and then a lot of times, the beginning is kind of testing their mettle. I mean, it's usually tough for the employee. They get beat up a lot. And,
Dude, I had some rough days.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. And, I mean, a lot of people probably got driven to drinking after a few days, a few of their first days. But we move people around, because I know if someone internally has talent, I don't know what the talent is, but if they've got talent, any kind of problem-solving ability at all, right? And we like hanging out with them, we'll find their place.
We'll find a way.
We'll find their place. Maybe it's going to be shipping, maybe it's on the phone, customer service, maybe it's making videos, maybe it's as a mechanic, a welder, whatever it is. But people float all over the place here until they, get into their groove. But yeah, the very first thing is, do we like this person? Are they going to fit into the family? And we can usually tell off of Facebook whether you would fit in with the family or not.
That too.
So that's kind of our first phase. If you're a customer and you want to know, like, would we hire you? It's that.
Yeah, but don't be. We often have job postings, and we get a lot of out of state people that apply, and we turn down a lot of them. But don't be afraid to apply if you think you might be part of this. Yeah. And it's hard.
I mean, the position is the least important thing here.
Yeah. Like, I was just, like, while you guys were talking, running through that in my head, like, if you can fit in with us, because we're not normal, and you have a skill, you will find it.
Yeah.
Like, when I was here and started as a mechanic, I could turn wrenches, but never in my life had I ever done that as for a profit.
Yeah.
So I was really slow at it. And I'm not ashamed to admit that. Like, it was always just a fun hobby. And so after a month or so, and they're like, this isn't working.
This guy.
Like, even Kyla, as mad as she was, she knew she wasn't just going to throw me out the door. It's like, okay, that's not working. You come up here, and then we'll figure it out from there.
It's because your hands and arms are too big.
Yeah,
Get in the way of
probably a big part of
Your
it.
biceps hit your...
But you did customer service. You did ECU programming. You're mechanic. Probably a little bit of welding. I mean, you've done quite a few things, but that's how it goes.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to touch on, it's not just about ZZP. So what I ask when I'm going to make a hire of importance, I'll say, what do you need to be happy? As an employee, what do you need? Because if I can't provide that need, our relationship isn't going to work.
Yeah.
If you need $200,000 a year,
It's not.
please tell me so that we can have that conversation. Because a happy employee is a great employee, and an unhappy employee, I'm not one of those guys trying to extract talent out of someone that's unhappy. Yeah. We're successful. We're going to be successful. Even if there's like 2 guys here, I don't care.
An unhappy employee is just going to bring others down.
Yeah, exactly. So, once I know that I can make someone happy, which is tell me what hours you need, tell me what your family is all about, and what their needs are. I mean, the whole gambit. Do I need to figure out a house? Is it a particular car? Is it a job schedule? Is it a month off in July? I mean, I don't care what you say. I need to hear it, so that I know
You can at least
if I
process
can make
it.
you happy.
Yeah.
And when people are honest about that, it allows the dialogue that lets us make a good fit, right?
Yeah.
I remember you asking that, and I remember saying that it wasn't so much the dollar amount. I just didn't want to have to worry about bills, and I didn't want my wife to have to work. And now I'm there.
There you go.
And that's the way that it is. And people will say, "Oh my God, ZZ, you guys are so unorthodox, and it's so cool." And so this, I don't know why more places aren't like this.
Yeah.
I really don't. Who the hell wants to work with people they don't like? It's insane to me.
That's-
right? Like,
yeah.
as an employee or as a boss, like, why would you?
You
create a
mentioned that
company
on
like
your
that?
slide thing that we did earlier, that this is like a family that you want to hang out with. And then last week after the podcast, like 8 of us stood downstairs for an hour and a half just talking about how cool this place is.
Yeah.
Just because we could.
And we all work here, so we all know it.
Yeah. And we still
we-
sat there talking about it
I
for an
know.
hour and a half.
But yeah, in that little slide, I said, if Erica would let me, Erica's my wife, and I love her, but if she would let me, I would be here all the time.
All the time.
I mean, I've got 6 different project cars and an endless list of things that I need to do, but you gotta balance that sometimes.
when people college age are like, "Oh, I don't know what I want to do," and I'm like, "I can tell you, you know, and I will give them the advice. And my advice to the audience here is, if you don't like your job, please quit.
Yeah.
You are not going to be 80 years old looking back saying, "Thank God I worked that shitty job for the last 40 years."
Yeah.
You won't. Like, you're going to be regretful if you don't find somewhere to go that you love.
Yeah, there's nothing better than waking up and not hating going to work.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like when I started at ZZP, I had left AT&T and I was making more money at AT&T, but every day I woke up and thought, how could I call in today? I don't want to be there. But that's reality for
So many people. So many.
And it's eyes wide shut. Like, now that I'm part of something that I love, I'm like, how the fuck did I do that for so long?
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know that we do a lot more than cars here too. We have all kinds of side projects and ideas that we run by each other and work on because we're sort of free to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone's got an idea and they're like, "Hey, I got this weird idea, and it's like, cool, let's do
run
it.
with it.
Let's see where it goes. Try it. If it fails, whatever,
And that's another part of being at ZZP is just do it. If it fails, it fails. You can't be afraid to make that leap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna breach on how you guys talked about moving positions. Like, nobody ever tells you here, like, hey, we're gonna try you out in marketing for a little while. Why don't you move over, hang out with them? Like, that doesn't.
No.
No, it doesn't work that way.
No.
Like-
Like you just kind of pick up things you're good at,
Yeah.
and if you do
kinda
it
run
long
with it.
enough on the side or whatever.
So, like, I got my degree in advertising. Have I really ever used that? No. I mean, we don't do advertising. We have
Not
our
really.
social medias.
Yeah.
We don't pay for any advertising,
Yeah.
so I haven't used that.
Hey,
But-
guys, you're gonna hate me. I got a jet. I'm late for the gym, and I got people waiting on me.
Oh yeah, dang.
Yeah,
Holy crap,
one of
it's
my
after
other
5.
passions,
5
as well as Al's. Yeah,
Yeah.
We're about to
Through
catch
that
up on
hour. That was crazy.
I know.
you guys'
I
questions
always
here
tell
real
them
soon.
I could
So
do this for like 2-3 hours straight.
Feels like it.
yeah, let
But,
us know if you want to see Zoom again. Thanks for coming.
Thanks, Sue. But
We
yeah,
got plenty more we can ramble about
I-
for a while.
like,
Yep.
I don't have any background in
See if Ryan's still here.
product development or
Yeah, you
any
want
of
to?
that.
I gotta
grab
run
someone.
down there anyway.
If nobody wants to come, just Eric can take a seat and talk
All right.
about Subarus.
Yeah.
You two just ramble for a minute.
All right. So
And then there was 2.
and then there was two green boys.
But yeah, keep going with your story.
Yeah, but I was just saying, like, I have no engineering background. I have no formal training in any of that. And so at one point earlier this year, it was right after we came back from our Corona kind of lockdown. And I knew that I wanted to be in on R&D because I had ideas.
Yeah.
But how do you... I mean, R&D is this, like, mythical being
Yeah.
that is there.
I mean, it's the powerhouse
Yeah,
of
it's kind of
ZZP.
the elite club. And I'm like, well, I'm this dude that's just doing social media and
Yeah,
stuff.
like...
How do I get in there? And I'm just kind of talking to Ryan and you, and and everything. And one day I was like, all right, I'm just going to go in the meeting.
Yep.
And just be a part of it. And then I did. And I showed up. And then I show up every week. And there's no questions asked. Like,
No.
people don't...
Everybody wants help here. Everybody's overworked here. Like, we
Everyone.
have way too many tasks to do in a day.
Yeah.
So everybody wants help. Nobody's going to say no. Like, yeah.
If you show up and just start doing, then there will be no complaints. But if I had showed up to an R&D meeting and say, "Hey guys, give me things to do," like that's not going to go over well. But
And also, like, you still knew what you were talking about. Like, you had
Yeah.
worked on cars for the last 3 years super in-depthly, so you
Yeah.
had the knowledge behind it.
and it's always
to-
been a passion, and I know I'm a relatively smart guy, so I knew I could bring something to the table. But
Ooh, there he is.
oh,
I was requested to come up here because evidently the boss man had to leave.
Yeah, you went to the gym,
yeah, he went to the
Oh.
gym.
so he's working out.
All right. So,
But
Let's start you off with some questions.
I
he
apologize.
needs to say one thing.
I'm not saying it.
You've got to say it.
I'm not saying it.
Oh, who is this guy?
I'm not.
Introduce yourself,
I
please.
can't do it. No. I told myself this year would be none of that. Oh, that's pretty cool. We got the thing up there now.
Yeah, we can see the questions live.
I was told that I had to be up here. Yeah,
Al's back. Al, make him do his intro.
I'm not doing it.
Pick him up,
No, you go.
throw him.
Why is he being sourpuss?
I told myself I'm just not gonna say it.
You got to say it.
No, can't say it.
Part of you.
I honestly, I apologize. I have not been listening. I've been just
That's
finishing
all
up phone calls and
So
stuff.
this is Brian D at ZZR.
The R is for race.
Stars for
R is for race.
Hello?
The
How do I
R-
answer the fax machine?
All right, we got questions we got to catch up on.
Yes.
God.
It was
There's a
getting
lot.
wild in here.
Jesus.
But,
What you guys been talking
This
about?
podcast has been lit. Like,
Will ZZP ever have, this is Michael, will ZZP ever have transmissions for Cobalt that can handle 500 plus horsepower? We have
do.
so
We do.
many
We-
500 plus Cobalts.
Yeah.
The F40 transmission can handle 500 horsepower with no problem.
We've
I know.
never broken an F40 from power.
Yeah.
not that I know of.
Yeah.
I've never seen one broken for power.
Granted,
either.
we don't have the actual transmissions anymore, but we have the swap kit, so you can put that in. So
I'm still running the original transmission because I was the first customer car to
run an F40.
to run an F40
Yeah.
or a stop transmission. And I'm still using
That's
that.
still that
made
same
over
one.
6.
Still that
He's
same
gonna
one.
make over 1,000 on his.
Damn right.
Yeah, I'm making over 6 on
How
locals.
far can you put a F-35 to before it just explodes?
Anywhere
It depends.
Anywhere from stock horsepower to 4 horsepower more to 600 horsepower.
Yeah.
Oh, so
I had an
You're
F-35
even
in my
fine.
Ion.
Yeah.
Made 400.
I mean, if you run
Every day.
205 all seasons, it probably will last at like 800 horse
Mm-hmm.
because it just spin all the time.
okay.
It's
But like the 898 car when they dynoed that was on an F35,
Oh, look
and
at
that
Dave.
transmission was wasted by the time they pulled it off the dyno.
I can tell you if you have a auto 2.4,
Yeah.
that transmission is not great.
The 1445 for all you 22.
45.
I didn't even know what it is, but I know it.
Yeah, the 1445, that's the automatic transmission of the 2.2 and 2.4 cars, is awful.
Yeah.
It's just awful.
It's a special kind of bad.
Yeah, like you can't do anything to make them hold any sort of power.
No.
We had a guy with an HHR come in here and drop $10,000 because he went through 3 transmissions and he wanted to do a auto to manual swap and do an F40. It was $10,000.
Whoa.
But he has not since that day. That was back in 2017. He has not been bad because he's been happy as a pig and shit with his car.
Hey, whatever you like.
Yeah.
You know?
But I mean that's the thing. Like the automatic transmission in the Delta chassis, and I feel confident saying the Delta chassis in general, it's not good transmission.
No, it's not. I mean, GM autos until about 2016
Yeah.
were pretty crap. I mean,
Yeah.
1465s were always shit.
Yeah.
1445s, there's no upgrades. You can't do anything to
Yep.
them.
If it has less than 6 gears, it's probably not a good
Yeah.
automatic.
Yeah.
That's just
I-
kind of a
I
thing.
will go with that. Yeah.
Even
Trevor,
that, the Sonic 6 speeds, they suck a good bit of power.
yeah,
Do they?
We haven't broken one yet, probably just because we haven't tried yet.
And they're a
But no-
better feeling transmission because they have 6 gears.
Yeah.
But-
But I mean, horsepower wise, it's pretty significant. Like stock, like there's like a 30.
Significant.
Yeah.
There's like a 30 horsepower difference between
I mean,
dynoing a stock one.
we've
and
had
not.
builds, identical builds, on V3 cars where they've made well into the 200s, like 250 plus on a manual, and the same exact thing on an auto will make 200.
Yeah.
If
And when
that.
you're at that low of a horsepower number, I mean a quarter
a
of
lot.
the power.
Yeah, and
that's-
it's only going to get worse.
yeah. So
By the way, everybody, I got a haircut today. I decided to keep the beard because Al.
he's looking fresh. He's looking fresh.
I
I'm looking fresh. Trevor's looking fresh. He's got the
Al.
bun going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I introduced
We're
Al
almost
to my
there, guys.
barber.
We're almost back to the bun.
I got
Yep.
the square corner in my
Yep, me
jawline,
too.
which I could never do myself.
Looks
pretty nice.
Shaved my mustache.
Yeah.
With the backside of a butter knife.
Yeah.
We got Andrew says,
Oh no.
can ZZP make fiberglass fenders for a Cobalt? Probably not, but Ryan and I are working on a little special side project.
I am not gonna say anything.
And actually, if you watch Tyler's first video on his blue Cobalt,
Oh, you see it.
you see a sneak peek. So,
And there's a couple frames.
Oh,
where
yeah.
You might
Yep.
see what's going on.
so check that
Oh,
out.
man.
But no, we will never mass
We will-
produce
yeah.
fiberglass fenders.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah.
We just don't do that.
There's a question way earlier in this. I don't know if the person's even watching, but they wanted to know if ZZP plans on making any other carbon fiber parts at any point.
No.
Yeah, unfortunately, guys, body stuff isn't really ZZP's wheelhouse for that. You know, we're about engine
go fast.
performance and suspension and doing that stuff. Body-wise,
Yeah.
you know, you can message myself, Al, Trevor, Tyler for your specific vehicles, and we can give you suggestions on where to go.
Ooh, I do have a shout out though to one guy who's doing some great
Oh yeah.
Junk TTV.
Great carbon work. Junk GTP is formerly known as, now he's Carbon Works on Instagram. And he's a
Spell it.
KarbonWorkz. But yeah, he's on Instagram. He does some awesome stuff. I'd almost consider him a friend. Talk to him a lot. And yeah, he
We all know
freaking
about
loves
Junk
us.
GTP, man.
Yep.
It's great.
I don't
Maybe
know,
then.
but I've heard you guys talk about it a
Yeah.
lot.
Ethan says, what job openings do you currently have? Check Indeed. That's where everything goes.
Yep. I
If we're
believe we
hiring-
have a welder position, a kitting position.
We always have a welder
product
position open.
coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you can weld real good
We always have position open.
and want to come here, we will hire you.
Also, guys, too, just to kind of add on, I'm not sure what Zoom said or anyone else said or anything. We always kind of have an open position. Like
Yeah.
if we see you and you're like exemplary, and you know we're looking, you know, for something we feel you'd be a good fit for the company, we kind of find places for you. There are some people like we had a group. I
Yeah,
remember-
he did kind of touch on that, but that's a different way of saying it.
Yeah. Like, well, I remember because honestly, we even have like Ashley and like she came with another group of people and stuff like that. Like they didn't really have a spot, but we felt like they'd be a good fit for ZZP.
Yep.
So they came in.
Yeah, that's right. Like
Yeah.
when Ashley was hired, she didn't really have a
There was no
job.
title.
They're just
Yeah, she didn't have
like,
a
you
position.
should probably be here.
Yeah, we all
We'll
knew.
figure that out later.
She got a trial by fire too. Well, not as much fire as you, but it was our whole marketing team and Kyla. So there was 8 of us and Kyla all interviewing Ashley, and she still impressed us. So
Wow.
if that tells you anything,
Yeah, exactly.
you know, she wasn't nervous. I think we did the same thing for Drake. I love you, Drake, but
Yeah.
you didn't
I
like
mean, yeah,
No,
sometimes
Drake falls into what Zoom was saying about if this isn't your dream job, quit.
And he did.
And for as far as I can see, he's having a great time now
Yeah,
with
he
the
moved
stuff
out
he's
to
doing now.
Chicago, and he's having a good
He's a
time.
barber now.
Yeah.
It looks like he's having a blast at it. Like,
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, don't-
it's not for everybody.
We don't want clock punchers. We want people that want to be here every day.
Yeah.
Which I was thinking, like I truly believe that Zoom sets this place up to be this way because he cares about us, because he wants it to be a family, because he wants us to enjoy being here. But on the business side of it, he gets people that want to work more
Yeah.
Yeah.
just by making us happier.
Yep.
Like it's a win-win for him.
I remember when I was set for my interview here, it was I saw the posting 2 days, and I don't drink energy drinks, but I went through like 12 Red Bulls. Did not sleep for 48 hours. Because this job wasn't really what I went to college for, had anything ready. And Joel sent me the link. He's like, hey dude, I think you'd love this job. And I was like, shit. So I stayed up for 2 days straight, just like built a whole website, did a whole bunch
did?
of product sketches. And
Yeah.
I was like,
Wow.
I don't know what they want, I'm just going to do everything
Yep.
and bring it in.
Yep. Well, I do remember because he came in with his friend. They rang the bell and stuff when we were still open.
Yep.
And he's like, "Oh man," he said, my guy's, you know, he's like both of them came out in a suit, and he was like, "Hey, my guy, you know, Trevor here, he's gonna do this," and I immediately went to start shit talking
Joel.
Joe Matsky.
Immediately went there, and then I was like, Trevor was laughing, and then Trevor got some good little stabs, and I'm like, I like him.
Yep.
So
And he fit in. I'm gonna jump in real quick. Connor Murphy, F23 swap, solid swap.
It is a solid swap. I'd ran it myself. It's just not something that was feasible for ZZP to do versus the F40.
They're an even older transmission.
Yeah.
They are the F23. Like I say, they're older, they're good, they're not strong, but they're cheap. That's why people do that.
If you're about the junkyard life and finding them on eBay.
Yeah, I mean, I had an F23.
They're stronger than I expected, but the main thing is they're cheap.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had an F23 in my first Ion, and it's so if you think an F35 shifts like crap and is loud, the F23 is even worse.
Is it?
It's even at least mine. And granted, mine came out of a who knows how many mile junkyard Cavalier, but like that thing clicked and clunked and like, but it worked, and my F35 didn't. And we all know that F35 is a big downfall.
Yeah.
Of the Cobalt.
The
F40s shift amazing though.
They do.
So much better. You don't know it until you drive an F40 car.
F40 cars are amazing, but the F35 is good. Like one of my favorite gearings is still the 382 LNF one. It's just they're weak.
Yeah.
That's their design, the shaft design of that. They're just weak. But I like the gearing on them. Like they set up to like for road coursing and stuff like the Cobalt's made to do. It's really good.
Yeah, and at stock power, they'll last a long time.
Yep, but none of us here do that.
Nobody
I
likes
can't.
it.
Yeah.
What's that?
Al, do you wanna
Mike
Do you have more
Alfieri?
questions for us?
do you wanna open Facebook, Al, and check those questions?
I've been watching.
I saw there someone asked if the Gen 3 LSJ short blocks are coming back, and they are. We just haven't got our next shipment of crate engines in yet.
Yep.
Dennis Wilkowski Jr. No, ZZP does not stand for Zoom parts. ZZP does not stand for anything.
Nope.
The only thing it stands for is making you ask what it stands for.
Yep. Yep. I think that's one of the first questions all employees ask is, does ZZ stand for Zoom? And it doesn't.
It's one of those things where like the answer is it sounds cool.
Yep.
And that's it.
And I'm sorry, guys. This is a pet peeve of all of us here. We will make fun of you if you call in and ask us, is this ZZP performance?
Oh, yeah.
We will all make fun of you. The P stands for performance. It's
Yes.
ZZ
Performance.
So if you say ZZ performance or ZZP performance, that's like saying your VIN number.
Yeah.
Vehicle identification
Yeah,
number.
or when people say ATM machine.
Yep.
I hate that one.
It's the
ATM
same thing.
machine, VIN number.
Hot water heater.
Yeah, like they're
No, it's a water
The
heater.
water heater.
yeah, it's redundant. It's redundant.
Yep.
So remember, people, when you call in and say, "Hey, can you look? Do you have my VIN number?" It's your VIN. You're saying vehicle
VIN.
identification number. You sound silly.
Yep. Let's see.
Joe commented to tell Zoom that he's supposed to be fired.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay. Well, Joe, you're fired. You're rehired.
Sorry.
Jeff, Mr. Ryan Derrick
Uh-oh.
doesn't have a quarter-mile record
I do not.
with the Snowball. But that's just, like we were talking about earlier, that's just not what everyone
Just
wants
not
to
what
do.
Ryan does.
Yeah. Like, Tim will drag race his car, but he hates drag racing his car.
Yep.
And
I do the LNF. However, the Snowball does still have the half-mile record.
it does. It's
Still-
a long
It's a long time. I
ago.
set that record many years ago.
And
no one's
nobody's gotten close.
So are you saying if somebody would beat you,
No, go away.
you'd go back
go
and
away.
beat him again?
Go away. Well, yeah, but
Exactly.
Go away.
That's all I want.
Competition!
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need it, guys!
No.
We need to get Ryan D at ZZP.
Hey, Bill.
Out on the half
Bill
mile.
Kish is here. No. So my sectional. as Will Kish is asking he asked about my couch.
Oh, gee.
So what
I
was the
forgot about
hashtag?
it. I didn't-
What was the hashtag for the sectional?
Oh, there's a couple of them.
All right.
Justice for Ryan's section.
Yeah.
Hashtag-
My sectional, I emailed her because I'm a very patient person. I understand how it is to have people constantly ask you how long and stuff like that. So I do it like once a month. So I recently emailed Jacqueline.
Ooh, calling her out.
Yeah, Jacqueline's been very nice through this whole process. However, I did think she misled me a little bit on the time frame.
I think she did.
Everybody get in the chat right now and hashtag justice for Ryan D's sectional.
Sectional.
See how many
So-
people we can get to say it.
So she recently told me it was gonna be like I've been Jerry said it should be January, early February when your sectional is gonna be delivered.
Wrong.
So I emailed her at the like a week ago, like last Friday. Say, hey, it's kind of getting towards the end. I don't mean to bother you. Do we have an update? I assume that it won't be in February. Yeah, the manufacturer said that it's gonna be like April sometime about that. So yeah, I'm on the wait train. Just still waiting for a sectional. I'm still waiting on my countertops too. And so, just
Oh yeah, I forgot about the countertop.
Just living like a poor.
living like a poor.
I'll leave this to you guys. Gabe has asked about gear ratios on the F40, Saab versus Regal.
They're not that much different. There's a 3.7.
Gabe, if you want to email customer service,
Yeah.
and they can forward it to me, and I have a spreadsheet that the infamous G5 Mike made that has all that stuff listed out for you.
Yep.
Way more detailed than I could explain through a microphone.
Yeah,
and it depends on what you're doing, too.
Yeah. Yeah, gear ratio wise, I mean, the two main ones are the Regal and the Saab one that we suggest. The gear ratios are pretty similar. It's basically just your later gear.
3-4.
Yeah, your
3-4 and 5 and 6.
Yeah, so
Either
it's
way,
just
you get the cool Euro reverse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Which is a pain in the butt when we have some shop cars on F40s and some are
On
F35s.
Yep.
And so you just hop in one and you're like, crap, there it goes.
Or you get an Ashley Sonic, and you put
I
in
remember
the
that.
sixth
Sorry about that. Tyler forgot the shift pattern on the Sonic.
So I had been driving my Ion
a
quite a
5-speed
bit.
Ion.
5-speed F35, which reverses down and to the right. And I had to pull,
because America.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I had to pull Ashley's 6-speed Sonic around.
And we had just installed the prototype those shifters.
Yeah, so the
Shift knob had
shift
no
knob
thing.
didn't have the pattern on the top, which nobody looks at anyway, but we'll give it to that. And so
I've never heard about
I
this.
put it into sixth, and I sat there, and I was like, what the hell? And so I took it out and I put it back in sixth, which I thought was reverse, and I went, this thing is going forward. So I take the keys out, I come back in, I said, Ashley, what is wrong with your transmission? She goes, what do you mean? I said, reverse doesn't work at all.
This is Tyler B at ZZP.
This is like.
Remember how that thing Zoom said about hiring talent? Like, just kidding.
And yeah, so I said, yeah, I put it down to the right. And Ryan overhears and he goes, you mean sixth?
Yeah.
Sixth gear. You tried to go backwards in sixth gear.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Multiple times.
I'm going to go kill myself.
Yep. Then you
go-
go out
go-
there and suddenly the Sonic was
You
in
go
the
out
bay.
to 28th
Like,
Street
Tyler.
and you count mufflers.
I think I just shut up, walked back, and I was like, all right, it's in the bay.
Yep, that's literally what happened. I was like, what? You were trying to put the car in sixth gear? It's a 6-speed car. What are you doing?
El, you got any more questions? Facebook?
Sure.
Oh, there was all kinds of good stuff.
You didn't ask.
Feel free to rattle them
I
off.
was just having a good time listening.
Fair enough.
A lot of things about Ryan's sectional.
Appreciate
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys.
Yeah,
It's,
there was quite a few.
I know. Okay, at this point, I think it's so safe for me to say, Tallsma Furniture is where I got.
Okay, I'm going to give... Jeff McGovern gets an extra $5 on his gift card for this one because it's clever.
Yep.
It's like,
He's
I
the one
always...
that won the Sonic contest?
Yeah, I always thought ZZP was sleeper performance because of ZZ, like you're sleeping.
I like
That's
that.
not bad.
That's pretty good.
Yeah?
I feel like we should,
It's not, but that's clever.
we should just steal that and say that that's
Can I-
really
Just
Can
say
I-
that that's
Yeah.
what it is.
Can I go on a rant and say I don't really care for sleepers?
Well, yeah,
We've
know,
seen your car.
We know your style.
Fair enough.
And we know.
I just think a car, you don't doesn't have to look stock, but I think people overuse sleeper too much. Like, oh, my car's a sleeper.
Yeah.
But okay, like just baseline.
Being here,
yeah,
we
if-
hear it too much.
Yeah,
Like, oh,
if
I'm
you
here,
have
I'm a sleeper.
the performance version of a car, your car automatically can't be a sleeper. I'm sorry.
You know what the
Unread
best
line-
sleeper ever is? It's the most unique car you've ever heard of. If you put a 3800 in a Fiero.
It's real unique.
I love
really
about 300 customers who do feel.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to shit on those guys because those cars are cool and fast if you have a clean one, but there's a lot of them. I like them. I still like them a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
But-
the facelift Fieros a lot.
Yeah, I don't
But
know,
it's just funny how every once in a while we still get a customer that calls in and like, you're never going to guess what I'm doing. I bet we are.
And as soon as we hear that, Ashley goes, Orion 3800 swap Fiero.
Yep.
How'd you know?
Yep. It's happening with goblins and all a lot too. Say, yeah, I'm doing it. Like they try to be a little sneaky about. I'm
doing
putting
an
together this
LNS
custom.
swap.
Yeah, I'm doing this custom kit car. You're doing a goblin. Yeah, how'd you know that? Because we get a lot of calls.
Because you have to.
Jeff McGovern asked if we would hire a Canadian We would, but if we ever do, there's another Canadian ahead of you in line, so you'd have to wait for Scott to get hired first.
He has first.
It doesn't even matter whether Scott wants to work here or not. He's the next. If we hire Canadian, it's going to be him.
He's got to be the first. Well, but we have nothing against Canadians.
Except for their weird money.
Creek says, who's the best driver?
Of course he wants. He's trying to talk shit.
At what?
Yeah, we all have different abilities and different skills and different mindsets.
Everybody.
That's what I'd say if I wasn't the best driver.
Say who you think is the best driver.
Well,
here.
best driver in what?
Yeah.
3.
No.
2.
What?
Wait, this isn't fair.
Yeah.
Best driver at what?
That's what I'm saying.
Just whatever comes to your mind.
No.
Best driver.
Because there's a difference between if you say drag racing.
Whatever comes to
All
mind.
right.
All right.
3.
Drag racing. Let's say drag race driver.
3, 2, 1.
Matt.
Damn it.
What'd you say?
I said Matt.
The people here.
Oh,
said
in this
Matt.
room?
Oh.
No, you didn't say that.
Oh, no, it's me.
Oh,
No, I'm way better than you. I went 12th first. And I'm fat.
I went 11th first. And I'm still the fastest.
He's lighter than you, so technically by stat wise, he may slightly be better.
And and I'm the fastest around gingerman here.
That's what I was thinking.
So,
road course. Yep.
You've got the half mile.
Mm-hmm.
Not that it takes a lot of driver for the half mile.
Damn.
You know what? It doesn't.
Dude.
And I don't have a problem admitting
No,
that.
that's fair. It's arrow and power.
The half mile is expensive, and it's a long-ass day, and it's usually hot, and it's very frustrating. But that's the end goal of this whole thing that I do.
Yep.
So, I have to do that. Yeah. And on a related tangent, you hear that a lot in the powerlifting world, oddly enough, that the meets a lot of times aren't even the most fun part.
Yeah.
It's the training and leading up to it and doing everything you have to do to get
Being
ready.
with your buds. And
then the meet's just what you have to do at the end to
The half mile
quantify
is
it.
a builder's competition more than.
Half mile is more of a builder competition.
Yep.
I'll say this. I believe I'm the fastest shifter at the table.
100%. I shift like a grandma.
I do too.
I've seen that video you shifting that bus, though.
I wish that was me. That was funny. I will say, when I'm normal driving, I do just do some weird shit. I believe, I say at the table, I feel like I'm the fastest.
100%.
Yeah,
Al
probably.
knows I sleep between my shifts.
Yeah, he does.
Which is why we could have gone.
I remember I drove
Should have
Trevor
been double
Sky.
clutching.
I would pull up logs and show him the dead time between shifts. I'm like, what are you doing?
I was like, I don't know how.
Yeah.
That's just what I do.
I just don't want to hurt it, you know.
Well,
Yeah.
Because
I was afraid of the two-step for a while.
Trevor Sky, he said, dude, my car feels slower. I'm like, let me see how you're shifting this thing and driving this thing. Mm-hmm. So I went out there and I shifted the shit out of that car for him. So
Yep. That was the thing. I came back and I was like, why does it feel slower? Ryan's like, let me see how you're driving it.
But it's funny that you mentioned being worried about hurting the Sonic. Because last night we're on the dyno and I put it up on the two-step and it didn't do anything. So I just put it back up on the two-step and it's just banging $7,000 and we're just both looking at the laptop like, weird. And the whole time the car's just
I know. And then you're like, all right, we're going to do something dumb. Then we changed the cams around, and we were like, well, that didn't work.
Yeah, that didn't work.
So we put it back.
Creed Carter says he heard that there's some super secret driver from England who's amazing.
Alex.
Alex
is a good driver. That's about the only person that's from England that's a good driver. The other driver from England stalled my ATS 5 times.
Granted, that's a shitty clutch. And
at the time? That was when it was good.
Oh, stock clutch?
No, it was right away when the clutch masters, right away. So it was good. It was fine.
Well, Colby Matasko asked
Yeah.
sorry, no Cavi stuff. We're about 30 years
Some
too late
of
for
us
that.
here have a soft spot for the Cavaliers.
Yeah,
but
I still like a nice
like
J
them.
body,
but
but it's too.
Depending what it is, shoot me an
doing
email.
That build right now. I was gonna say he should go check that out.
He's got a LE5 swapped turbo, air to water Cavalier.
Yeah, I wish I could remember the Instagram, but that's a cool build. I've
Pretty
been following
neat.
that
All right.
one. Yeah.
What other question? Someone look up some other questions. I think.
Ellen Ryan question from Connor Murphy: what would be the best turbo to run on an 09 LNF?
Best budget turbo, in my opinion, is going to be a Z57 or the 7163. If you're looking for just really fast spool, the Z54 or the 6758.
Z54.
Stop it. It's I like the Z57 is an amazing turbo, like for what it is for the price point.
Z57 for the price.
I mean, Z57.
Yep, that's why I'm going to run 3 of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Z57.
So if
Stop
Al
it.
wants to run three
Three
you
Z57s.
can run one.
The Z57 is ball bearing. Obviously, it has a warranty, so we'll take care of you with.
Oh,
it.
he asked about
257 or
257.
362?
Okay, both of those are no.
Yeah, no.
I don't know what would be the best.
Oh, those are the only options apparently.
Oh, those?
Well, I mean, granted,
Between those two, the 257 is fine.
between those two, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I wish we sold the 252 with our kit, personally.
it's a great turbo.
It's okay, but yeah, I know why people don't. But again, guys, so originally, again, I've run. We counted the turbos at one point in time. I was like 5 or 6, so I'm pretty deep with them. The 252 at the time was still one of my favorite because of how fast it spooled and the power it made. Yeah.
And then the new 252 can
Make
break
more.
5.
Yeah. But really pushing
Yeah.
it, though. Really pushing it.
It's pushing it to the limit, but
Yeah.
it can do it.
I
But
think
when you compare that to all these people that get a 257 and run it at 20 pounds, like,
The-
why don't you get a smaller turbo, run the boost it's capable of,
Yeah,
and have
we-
an even wider
we get
power
that
band?
question a lot, is where do I go next with my LNF over the stock turbo? If you want more power, but you don't want to like push the car, get a stock manifold turbo. 54, 57, 71, 63, or 67,
yeah,
58.
all the ZZP.
It makes it so much easier. You can run low 20s, mid
Some
20s.
guys made over 500 with the
Yeah.
7163, so
Like,
it's possible
they're
to make power.
great turbos. Don't, though, go from your stock turbo to a 257 kit and run 18 pounds
No.
Yeah.
because you're going to have a lag gear turbo. You're going to make
It makes you not like the car.
more
Exactly.
peak power, but you're going to
And
make
that-
less
that's-
average power.
And that's what a lot of people don't understand.
Creeks.
So
Craig said he saved a squirrel by
no,
stalling.
there was no squirrel.
Steve H2. You'll have to watch the video. It was pretty good. Pretty
Yeah.
good conversation. So
But yeah, Connor, between those two, the 257 is the better one because again you're gonna what people focus too much on is you're like Tyler say your peak power. They don't want to actually get a good power band in your car. A laggy car will make it not fun to drive. It doesn't make all the cool sounds you like.
Yep.
It can't have boosting. You're gonna lose the cars that you are literally faster than.
Yeah.
Because you literally have a window. For a perfect story about this was me. I raced. There was this guy with a turbo Integra back at home. At this time, I was on bolt-ons. I wasn't on a ZZP2. Yeah, I was on a trifecta with bolt-ons. The LNF was just brand new, so I had this bolt-on. But he was making like 400 wheel, but he had this 6260 on the car, and it's pretty much stock. So what would happen is we raced. It was a road race. We honked off. I would jump about 2 cars ahead, and he would start catching up and shift. Catching up and shift.
Yep.
Catching up and shift. He just didn't have the RPM and the range to catch me, the gearing to do it.
Yeah.
One thing that a lot of people ignore, and what I didn't really realize until I was in our environment, is your your power band.
Yeah.
Power band is
A
important.
lot of people ignore that because even
All they
Tyler,
look at is the spool RPM.
yeah,
and not
but
the
even
overall
Kyle
power
ignores it.
Yeah.
He's like, oh well, if I had the 2.4, I could spool this much faster. Well, but if you can rev it out 2,000 RPM further,
Yeah, the slingshot can turn $9,000.
yeah.
It has a stupid wide power band.
So, if you ever have any questions about turbo selection or what, tell us what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to drive to school or to work and have fun on the streets, honestly, a KO4 like on an LNF car or an LSJ is going to be a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun.
lot of fun.
Because
You get up into the 257 and up range, and you can only use third and fourth gear.
yeah, you got to let off when the fun starts.
Yeah, you're
that-
going 120 by the time you're.
No,
you
and the thing about it is there's so much truth to that because everyone knows the snowball. The snowball's fast. One of the most. It's a customer thing. It's
You got any more beers over here?
Oh, we got more beers.
nice. The LNF is a legendary.
We got some
snowball,
Keith
blah, blah.
Stones.
Ew.
we're gonna run down. Leave you guys be. But I'll be right back.
All right. But like they can you not? Science hates you.
Science doesn't matter here.
Oh God. Yeah, like I have to. If I'm gonna do anything with the car, I have to it's a full commit.
Yeah.
Like I can't just get on it real quick, get off because it's a full commit. I'm going into it knowing what I'm going into, and I'm going really fast by the time I'm doing anything.
Yeah.
Like even the second, third gear, the car makes too much horsepower just to quickly.
Yeah, really. It's so evaluate what you want to do with the car. If you want to go and do half miles, big power, cool.
Yep,
If you
big turbo.
want to have fun every day, you don't have to go that far.
People get too caught up with competing with their friends on the internet.
Yeah, that
That's what it is. They get too caught up with, oh, well, this guy's doing this, and I have to beat his horsepower number. I cannot tell you, because this goes with the pulleys, too. Everyone thinks they need the smallest pulley possible.
I
To
want
beat
a
the
G7
all the
and
time.
a 91, and then it blew up. And
Yeah. No, you just need you need a proper setup.
my Camaro, perfect example. Stock turbo, that is so much fun.
Yep.
I can yeet through first and second, and well, it's an 8-speed, so it's third and fourth.
Yeah,
and
so it shifts like wah, 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 wah.
But that on Gingerman is running low
perfect.
140s, like. It,
Like
don't
you
know.
said, you had one of, if not the fastest Gingerman time here on a stock turbo car.
stock turbo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You don't need it. Again, I
And,
got the road coursing after when I went the Cobalt was too far. So
Federal Tire Official. If
right.
you're listening,
Federal Tire,
please sponsor us.
please sponsor us.
oh yeah, Federal Tire sponsor them. And
Yeah, because
Yokohama.
we got road course and we got drifty boy and we got half mile boy.
Yep.
So we can all, please Federal Tire help.
I tag you in all my posts.
Yeah.
We have so many vehicles here.
Yeah.
But yeah, turbo wise, please pick the proper turbo for your car. But between those two, a 362 is way too much turbo. Like that is going to be a laggy boy on the street.
But I mean, if you want to make 700 horse and you want to spool a 3500, you can just compound the 362 on top of a KO4.
Or you can
then
not
you get
overcomplicate it like what I was telling you to do and just get one good
Oh,
size
it's
turbo.
definitely overcomplicated, but it's a lot of fun.
Gabe, 7163 versus 257. Again, what do you want to do? For most street cars, 7163 all day. Or, well, above that, Z57.
If you haven't
is
caught
cheaper.
on yet, the answer is usually the smaller one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, me and Ryan have been there. We've ran like a dozen turbos each?
Yeah. Yeah, it's we have a lot of turbos between each other. Now
I would not go bigger on my Sky.
Yeah.
It's
No,
perfect.
not unless you had nitrous on it.
Yeah. You.
And as much as I love nitrous, I mean that seriously for what he does with the car. If he went any bigger, he would have to have nitrous on the car to be able to get
it
enough
would
torque.
ruin the ability to do what I want it to do.
Yeah.
It could be nearly impossible. So,
Yep.
Franklin says, would y'all sell individual parts for that 40 swap? No way, man. We have a full kit. You buy the full kit, and then you buy your F40, dog. So yeah, I mean we have it here ready for you, ready to go. Let's see. So I don't mean to be crazy off topic, just to
No, you're fine.
So
yeah, we're just finishing up
We
questions.
just completely rambled for the first hour, so we'll go ahead and grab questions as we see them.
Yep. We're probably wrapping up here pretty soon,
Yeah.
so get your
Would,
questions in and
Z54 or Z57 be better for spool time and power band for LSJ 350 horsepower goals? Both would be fine for it, but probably if you want to max it out, probably Z54 like our Stage 2 kit would probably be the better choice for that. But Z57 is good. Both of them are like they're so close that you can do either one
Yeah.
as far as spool time goes. Let's see there. Best pulley on the TVS 282.9 for lapping. Stock pulley
I'd
on
go
the TVS.
bigger than that.
Yeah, like the stock.
If you're
TVS
running
pulley.
laps, yeah, I would run probably stock.
Yeah, the stock TVS pulley is the best. Remember, guys, the smallest pulley possible is not the
It's
best
not always
choice.
the best.
It's the most efficient choice.
And also with the blower cars, the pulley size, once you get a little bit away from the stock size, the further drops in pulley size will gain you torque, but not really that much more power.
Exactly.
Part of it's the intake temps, part of it's the efficiency of the blower. But when, like a road course car, where you have the ability to keep the car at high RPM, you're driving in a range where the extra torque that a small pulley might give you doesn't really matter because you're not ever using it. So just run the biggest that you can and still be fast enough for what you're doing. The car will run longer, better.
Yeah, exactly. So remember, guys, I mean, that's something that we really would like people to take away. It's like sometimes the smallest pulley or the biggest turbo is not the better choice.
So you
Sometimes
just run
though-
the M62 with the 75 shot.
I'm not gonna comment on that.
I think that's 3 or 4 times this podcast.
Yeah, it was a lot this time.
Yeah,
Yep.
but yeah, like it's yeah, guys, just remember, even I have to remind myself, like sometimes I want to go back to my big old turbo. I'm like, no, it's not the best. Mike says, can we tame my throttle response on my iron railline TVS? You ported, or your ported throttle body, light flywheel. Yes, I'm complaining that I have too much throttle response. I want to have a linear pedal for Gingerman. Turbo? That'd be the best way to make it a little more linear, I guess. But I mean, you have a blower car.
I assume ported TB is referring to an LS4. And
I assume that's what he means because we don't sell a ported stock one.
unfortunately, there's not that much in the LSJ PCM that you can really do.
I would switch back to the stock throttle body.
Yeah.
On the TVS, the LS4 throttle body does gain like 10, 12 horse, somewhere around there, with everything else equal. But they're touchy. They're jumpy. They always have been. They always will be because HB Tuners refuses to unlock any more tables for us. You just kind of got to get used to it with your right foot.
John, JPL Performance, we're still working on 3800 headers.
We'll get them, man.
Yep.
We'll get them, dude.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get them.
Good and bad, we are busy, so our fab team is busy with customer orders, and then they can get to things like control arms and headers, and
Yeah.
We got people ordering every day.
We have too many things to do for the people that we have here.
Yep.
So
Last question.
Let's
Creed
say-
Carter.
No.
I say we end on that one.
No.
ZZP
What were you gonna ask
decals?
quick?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Let's get to Colby's question. Creed's question is not important.
No, it's a good
Creed is
question.
our shipping manager here. What's the weak point for the F-35 trans? It's worth going F-40. You may have missed it earlier, but yes, the F-40 is the best trans you can go with.
The
for
weak
these
point
cars.
of the F-35 is
Design.
having to do its job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
It's
says no.
yeah, its design is weak point. The shaft design is weak, and that's what flexes and brakes, especially in third gear, things like that. So
Which is why the 23 and the F40 are technically better because
Yes.
they have more internal shafts, better bracing.
Yep. But if you have a F-35 LSD, that thing is gold now.
Yeah, it's
So
worth a lot.
Hold
Yeah.
on to that thing, yeah.
Don't use it. Sell it to someone else that wants it.
Ryan is your intake and head ported. My head is ported. My intake manifold is not because. So, moderate question here, even though I have this issue myself and I still want one. So, intake manifolds on the LNF. I want all of you to think about this. If you have a 2-lane highway, what flows better? Does it flow better if the highway goes from 4 lanes to 2 lanes, or does it flow better if it's 2 lanes the entire way through? The answer for you guys, I'm sure most of you said this, at least I hope most of you said this, it's a 2-lane highway. The LNF actually has very poor head flow. The LNF head flow is not very good.
Yeah, on a flow bench, it sucks.
Yeah, it does.
They just make power anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
they're
LNF
magical.
makes good power because of its efficient combustion and everything else. You know, that's why it has a slope at the end. That's why if you overport an LNF head, you lose like 50, 60 horse.
It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
you lose like a
We've
shit
done
ton
it.
of horsepower. So the stock intake, like you can port all you want, but you're not going to gain anything. In fact, you may lose something cradle to turbo. That's why people with improper design intake manifolds, like another one out there, not saying any names,
That other 3-letter one.
Yeah,
That makes
that-
less power than a stock
it makes
manifold.
less power than stock manifold does. Eventually,
Both the LNF and the LSJ version
Yep.
make less power.
Yeah.
Franklin Bays Auto HHRSS as a daily remote tune, couple bolt-ons, perfect. Don't have to worry about the trans at those power levels. My wife
Oh,
has
yeah.
one, and I've modded it against her will, and it's a ton of fun.
If
So-
for some reason I was strong-armed into having to drive an HHR, I would want an auto one.
for a daily,
Just
100%.
For a daily.
Yeah, for a daily. Just
And,
because it's
like-
nice and simple.
I have a auto Cobalt 2.2 and then the auto LNF, and it's night and day.
Yeah.
I mean, once you get some power, it'll downshift when it wants to. And,
Yeah.
But they're not great trans, but on a stock turbo, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Mod it, have fun.
With what's 4 or 5 LSD worth? Is it any stronger? That's what I have. So okay, that's actually a pretty decent question.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So your final drive ratio is a little. It's not directly indicative, but it's a little bit like your like the strength of the trans. A 405 is stronger than a 382. A 445 is stronger than a 405. You know that because it puts less stress on the rest of the trans for the most part. Dang it, Eric. So in general, 405 is stronger than a 382 trans. Is it super strong
Because
still?
it takes some of the torque off of the common fail point.
Exactly.
Yep.
So it is better, and they are worth a decent amount, specifically for the LSD, and because they're getting rare, because people are still breaking them every day.
Yep.
But
Hold on, Krieg. I'm pretty sure my beard looks better than Ryan's.
well, yes.
That's just not fair.
But does
Shout
it
out to
look
Marissa
sexier?
because I introduced out Marissa, and she's
true.
doing
Yeah.
an
We
amazing
both
job.
got lined up.
I know we said
Same
last one,
thing.
but Luke, Sonic head porting on a stock frame turbo is
No.
useless. That is part of our break it plan.
Yeah.
is because right now when we made over 400, it was stock head stage 1 cams.
Yep.
So we're gonna push that current setup on the Zona until we're ready. Then we'll do stage 2 cams, ported head. We'll go from there. But any stock turbo fold on a Sonic, don't waste your money.
Yeah.
Yep.
We tried it and we lost power.
Yep.
Because, and I don't think I would even go for the ported head on the V3 even
No.
though it's better than the other stock frame turbos as far as back pressure goes.
It's
Still runs
2
2
to
to
1.
1 because it's still a compromise to get really fast spool out of it. And on the flow bench, we did gain a lot of flow on the exhaust side,
Just like
but
the
it
LNF.
actually lost power
Again,
on the dyno.
It's exactly like an LNF car. Like, so
Yeah.
so guys, be careful. Like, porting and doing all the stuff isn't thing. Like, for instance, the only reason I kind of want an intake manifold, and maybe I have to twist Al's arm one day to do one for me.
They look
maybe.
dope.
I like the way it look.
Yeah.
I race the car, I show the car, I drive the car, and I pop in the hood with them, we'll make it look a little
So I'm gonna take us out on this.
Yep.
Just
do it.
what we were
I was
talking
just about
about.
to say I got to wrap you guys up, but
We do this shit,
We'll talk all night
and we
and tell me what to do.
We try ported heads, and they fail. And like, when you contact us for advice, not saying that we are the end all be all, but listen to our advice because we've been there.
There's a
We've done
reason
that.
you called us.
There's a reason you've called us. We've been doing it for 20 years, and there's a reason we're still around, and we're gonna keep going forever. So
Oh,
Yep.
Colby. Fastest half mile ZZP car is 176. That was
Yep.
that was the two-tone.
Two-tone.
LSJ.
Yep.
176 two-tone, 168 ion redline, and
54?
what was yours?
What'd you run?
160.
150?
160 or 159.32?
All right.
Okay.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, 154.
Sorry to cut you guys off, but
yep.
we're way over. We gotta get out of here. Let us know
Yeah,
what you
people
want to
won't
next,
watch the video
so-
later if it's too long.
Yeah. But
You're welcome, Luke. Everybody, have a good night. We're gonna
Yep.
drink some more beer.
yep,
Probably.
we got cars to work
I'm not.
on, so thanks
Yep.
for hanging out. See
I
you guys
only
later.
drink beer on days that end